Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roman province of Illyricum, the birthplace of the Emperor Valens, and, frankly, a surprising number of emperors in this period. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Total War Attila, the Eastern Roman Empire, and History. And in this episode, I'd like to begin speaking about the Emperor Valens, but before I do that, I have one more thing to say about Julian, the apostate. Before I do that, though, let's end the turn. So there was a joke about Julian that Marcellinus wrote in his book, which was that Julian, as a pagan, sacrificed so many cattle that Marcellinus states that if he did not die in Persia, had he survived and come back, there would have been a shortage of cattle in the empire. And he compares this, Marcellinus does, to the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And he mentions a little poem that was written about Marcus Aurelius that goes, "Greetings to Marcus from the oxen white. We're done for if you win another fight." So yes, folks, the Romans were people just like us, and they told little jokey, satirical poems about their emperors. They want us to join the war against the Jutes, but they're going to pay us nothing for that. No, sorry, not interested.
Very well. The empty cup is a sad cup, but sometimes no one will pay the tavern bill.
Wow, Sulla, that sounds pretty depressing. Man. Anyway, just to quickly get you caught up, Julian, as we know, died in 364, and he was replaced at that point by someone by the name of Jovian. Jovian was actually chosen by the military leaders of Julian's campaign, and per Marcellinus, his name was so close to Julian that when they announced it to the troops, they cheered, thinking that Julian had got better. However, once they saw Jovian walking around in the purple, their eyes welled up and they broke out into tears. Now, Jovian is most notable for a shameful treaty with Persia that allowed him to march his army out of their lands, but as a result, he had to give up some territory, which I'll show you in just a second. Use your own influence. Alright, all my appointments made it through. So, Jovian, in order to secure the Persians to allow him and his men to leave Persia, which he really didn't need to do, they were strong enough to do it on their own, gave up the city of Nisibis to the Persians, which is why in this game it belongs to them. It used to be a Roman city. And it's generally looked upon as a really bad treaty that he should not have done. Although he did allow it so that all the Roman citizens and guards of the city were allowed to leave and go back into the Roman lines. There was also another city called Singara, but I don't know if that's necessarily on this map. However, Jovian only lived for 8 months. He died in Bithynia, and there's no real true account as to why it happened, but he was found dead on his bed, and Treadgold suggests that it was a fire in his tent that ate up all the oxygen and caused him to suffocate. Alright, so new turn, new bit of gold, our income is down a little bit. We need to be very careful because we need armies. As has been said multiple times in the comments, I need armies everywhere, but I have no money to afford them. So I've been spending my money to try to create opportunities to make more money. Now, upgrading towns does give you more income. They're finally getting a little bit happier here. Oh, one thing I did do between episodes is I hired a priest. Not this priest, who you're already familiar with, who's heading down to Aksum, but this priest. whose job is to go up here and figure out why these people are not, even with their church, are not becoming good little Greek Christians. He has an ability also called Inspire Populace, which improves their happiness. As you can see, him just being in here now has raised the growth and happiness up to 3 points. So it's down at negative 45, but it will start rising now. This one's growing a little bit too. Yeah, the entire peninsula of Asia Minor is not very happy, as you can see, but the good news is both now Bithynia and Cappadocia are improving, whereas Libya is happy, but they are not improving, probably because of a lack of food. Well, it's a stable food supply. I'm not sure why they're unhappy. They're not squalorous, but I could definitely be investing some more money in Libya. But let's start this episode by... Oh, we can't? I thought we were close enough to fight them with Rufinus's navy. Nope, not quite. So it looks like they just can get away from us, but we'll stay on them. And then we have this fellow up here in Italy. Oh, there he is. And we are going to go lay siege to Syracuse, which I thought was a walled city, but apparently it's not. Apparently the walled city is Tarentum. So I will not be able to build all the wonderful things that I wanted to here, but that's okay. Alright, we're not going to fight this one out because it's too easy. And done. We lost 243 people. We are going to occupy it. Alright, so now Syracuse belongs to us, and probably we're going to have to spend our money fixing it up. Which we can't even do, because we have to convert it. So we have a fruit orchard. Really? You would have to convert a fruit orchard to what? A vineyard. Are you kidding me? Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I don't have to compare it. I don't have to convert it, that is to say. I can just repair it and use it. Let's see. Squalor -1 gives us wine. Public order +3 and 90 food. Whereas this would give us wine. Public order +5 and 50 food. So definitely I'd want this. Why wouldn't you? Why would you want a fruit orchard instead of a vineyard? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, you get more food. That's the only difference. So you get more food from here, but much more public order. And either one gives you wine as a resource. Same amount of squalor. But you know what? I may stick with the fruit orchard, because food, as you know, is something that I am in short supply of. Or not really, but I'm going to be. So, that's an idea. And repairing is cheap. And the jetty, I can repair. And eventually I want to turn this into a military ship production base. So that's enough here. We've taken Syracuse, and so now Italia should be gone. They still have this... Are they a horde? I'm not quite sure what's going on here with these guys. They might die, disappear in the next episode. We'll see. So we need money. Oh, we have plenty of population here, so let's build a workshop. Some local industry. And Syracuse, we can also build something. What does it already have? Cavalry stables. You know, that's right. I wanted to convert my wheat fields to a horse breeder, because that allows better horses, basically. 5% battle speed. But it will take away some food from us, so I gotta keep an eye on that. I could build another farm in Syracuse. It's probably not fertile land, though. What about the islands? When I get more population, I could theoretically build a wheat farm in addition to the sheep. Although some industry might be helpful, too. It's also fertile in Egypt. And I am transitioning this to a wheat farm. Okay. Alright, we're just going to let things sit. That's fine. How long is that going to take to build? 2 turns? What else could I build here that would help my cavalry? Maybe a blacksmith or something? Can we even build that? Local industry. No. What I'm looking for is military upgrades. That's a supply storage. Okay. Can I build that? Apparently not. Apparently, I guess you can only build that in the city. Shoot. So now I have this construction site, which might turn into a slum or something. Squalor's fine, so we have that taken care of here. So I guess more industry. Heck, we could use the money. Alright. We still have a little bit of money left. I think it's a good idea to... Well, you know what? I can upgrade this farm. What's the fertility like here? How do I see that again? Is it... There we go. It's a base fertility of 3, but it's climate -1, and it's just going to get worse. Base fertility of 5 in these two places, as well as here. So I definitely don't want to build wheat fields here. If I was going to build a farm here, it would have to be a monetary farm, like sheep. I was looking in the wrong province, but it's still the same. So we can go with a sheep flock. Alright, and that's it for our money this turn. You're here. That's good. That's where I want you to be. Alright, let's figure out this Kartli situation. We cannot beat them with our current army. It is summer now, so we have 2 more turns until the winter envelops us. So I was told, set war coordination target. That's what I want. Alright, and we're going to do that with Kartli. Is that all I need to do? Clear target. Set war coordination target. Let's clear that for a second. Should I be first talking to my allies Lazica? Let's see. Okay, well, you set war coordination target. Is that right? That should be right. Okay. So we are here, and... Okay, cool. Did that work? Yes. Okay. So it is our war coordination target. That's perfect. Alright, so we are currently fortified. I'd like to still do that, but I want to be fortified in their territory, just to kind of piss them off. But you know what? We're recruiting men, so let's stay in our allied territory, and hopefully Kartli will... Or not Kartli, but hopefully Lazica will listen to what we're saying and help us in this attack. So it has been asked to me multiple times, Marcus, why do you move your guys around outside of the cities? And the reason I do that, folks, is because if you keep them in the same city for too long, they develop a trait called procrastinator, which lowers their zeal, and I try to avoid that. It's silly. I think the whole thing is kind of stupid, but that's what happens. But I gotta be careful, because if I go in the desert or something, they will take attrition. So I'm just gonna be extra careful not to do that. At your command. Beginning my journey for Rome. Okay, that should be good. So after Jovian, the army leaders got together again, and this time they chose a man by the name of Valentinian. Now, Valentinian, like Constantius II before him, realized that he could not rule the emperor or the empire all by himself. So what he did is he invited his brother Valens to help, and Valentinian moved to the west, while Valens was given the east. You will pay us 2,000 to join a war against Britain. Absolutely. And there are a lot of Huns in our territory. Like, a lot of Huns. I'm getting a little nervous about it. Maybe I should move my recruiter up there to see if I can recruit some Hun levy troops, though. That might be very useful, and it was suggested to me. And the Huns are ravaging Anacopia. So, Valens and Valentinian split up all of their troops. And what is going on here? And so they went half to the east, half to the west. So that brings us to the main point of this episode, which is the Emperor Valens. Valens was born in 328. He died in 378, obviously at the age of 50. And his full name was Flavius Julius Valens Augustus, because everyone in this time, of course, as we know, was named Flavius. All right, population surplus in Cilicia, good. Egypt has a bad autumn. That's not good. And Flavius Abundiatus gained a rank, but we'll deal with that when we end the turn, because it's just easier for me. All right, so our income is not a whole lot better, despite the new industry, or maybe it just hasn't been built yet. So it's something to keep an eye on. We need to fix Sicily. That's our main priority here, because the people are kind of unhappy. And we can do it. So it took a lot of our money, but it's done. So let's just run around. Okay. I'm putting off declaring war on Axum until, frankly, I have the attention span to devote to it, although I'll put him in here right now. Once we finish taking Kartli, then I'll set them as a war target. But for right now, Kartli is my main issue, and they're not helping. I wish there was a way I can get them to help. I did get rid of some of my mercenary cavalry to lower my upkeep cost. Well, let's see. We have about 7 minutes left. Should we risk a battle? How are we doing on technology? We're 2 turns away from this, which doesn't help us at all, and then we have 5 turns away from our upgrades. But we will get the benefit of the research bonus. Alright, let's get out of Fortify. And let's just... see, so we can't get anywhere inside their territory at all without attacking them. That really stinks. And they have such a good army. And I don't want to have to fight their garrison. I can't even just go in there and raid. That's what I was thinking too. I can go in there and use the raid stance. Stance raiding. But obviously we can't do that if it won't even allow us to go into their territory.
That is impossible.
So why aren't you guys helping us? Lazica.
My friend, you honor this place with your arrival.
Join war against... But you're in the war, aren't you?
Await your words.
What I want you to do, dude, is I want you to send your troops. That's what I want. I want you to help us fight these guys. That's what I want from you. You have this giant army. It's just sitting there, minding its own business. I'd love it if you could help. At Baskia, there's the Huns. Okay, so there's a ton of Huns around here. These Huns, these Huns. Looks like the Huns fought against these guys, the Thunderbolts of Thurinaz, the East Germanic separatists. I don't have anybody here to really take advantage of this. And these guys are content just to sit here. This is a terrible situation. We don't have enough troops anywhere to really get things done, but the enemies are not attacking us where we're strong and allowing us to defeat them, which I guess is good. It shows the enemies have good AI. But still, they are fortified. So if I attack this guy, their king, would they be able to...
How can I serve the people of Rome?
...come out and help? Arcadius' troops have proven themselves very strong. We'd have to basically win against 29, so they're almost 50% more powerful than we are. But if we can kill their leader... This is a gamble, folks. It's a gamble. And we have... Let's see here. We have 4 minutes left.
To victory!
Oh, wow. This is saying that we have no chance. Alright.
Disengage!
Well, so much for that.
What does Rome require?
I trust the game's assessment. If it's that bad.
Ever in
Alright.
service to Rome.
Let's inspire the populace
I
here.
do enjoy
Now they're going up 6 a turn. Perfect. I knew that guy was worth something.
It is an honor.
Alright, so Italia is still alive. They're assaulting Leptis Magna.
Prepare for battle.
We were able to catch up to them that time, but not entirely. This is amazing that a fully trained navy cannot keep up with no navy at all. It's basically just land troops on boats. The game should fix that. A true navy should be able to go faster. Otherwise, what's the point?
Ready for orders.
Arcadius, let's march you around a little bit.
Ready for further orders. Your next command.
Okay.
Ready for further...
You, sir. You know, it might be good to save some money. I was thinking you get a 5% interest on your money in the bank, which in the late game I've heard is very powerful for some people. But the problem is, in order to really make enough money to make it worth it, you need about 50,000, which we're nowhere near. Right now, 5% of 3,000 is like 150. It's not a lot. So it's not going to help us. Now, but if we save a little bit each turn until we finally get up to a lot, that will help us. But I've been up to this point, and I still believe it's the right idea, spending money on industry. This would lower squalor and public order, but give us 600 wealth and reduce construction cost. This would give us reducing from animal husbandry buildings, of which we only have 1. No. Well, actually, this province is really happy. So we could probably afford some squalor. I'm going to go with the quarry, though. Not the animal husbandry. Maybe I'll put animal husbandry here, since we only have 2 choices. Meanwhile, I guess we can get you started on recruiting cavalry.
At your command.
Persians. I was just checking to see if we can recruit some Huns, but I guess you have to be in the exact same province as them as well. Yeah, I guess that's how it is. Can't really tell. Let's see if Arcadius... Steppe Raiders, Steppe Lancers. Those are mercenaries, though. They're not levying troops. I think there's a whole little button that comes up here when you can levy troops. Not sure. But I'm feeling a little nervous about Constantinople here. With these armies rampaging about. But I can't leave Sirmium, because we have the Quadians over here. So I think it is time. It is time, folks, for a new army. We simply are too spread thin. Alright, you're a taskmaster with high integrity of your troops. That's good. You have high zeal. And you are good at recruiting cavalry. Integrity it is. Sextus Pupius. Really? 2D Tannis. Do we have a legacy to reinstate? We have 2. Really? Alright, well you can reinstate Flavia Felix. Oh, right, because when I disbanded the legions. Right. Okay, didn't that work? There we go. You're gonna go... Ah, here we go. Levy local troops. So the Huns, dismounted warbands, not that cheap. 250, and their steppe warriors are 575. That is not inexpensive at all. That is very expensive. Our national troops are cheaper than that, and I'm going to stick with them. But in the meantime, we will do what we do best and recruit some spearmen. You are just going to stay here.
Hard on the oars, you men! Is that all? What does Rome require of me?
Alright, there's my war target. that everyone is ignoring. I mean, what's the point of something that your allies don't even follow? That's just stupid. And I can't get anywhere in their entire province. What about here? Oh, I have to walk around through Armenia. They're probably not going to like that. In fact, I probably just got a little negative. No. Either way, though, I'm not going to do that. I am in their territory. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, next episode, we'll discuss more about the Emperor Valens. And I don't know, I will try to figure out what to do with my situation here where none of my armies are adequate for the task at hand, and the AI is actually being very smart at stymieing me. There should be a way for you to say, look, ally, jackass, march your army over here and help us take this city, which is literally a stone's throw away. But apparently, that is not an ability this game allows. So once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.